So I just saw Arctic, and it was pretty good. For those of you who don't know, Arctic is a survival adventure drama starring Mads Mikkelsen that premiered at the Cannes Film Festival. And what makes this particularly interesting is that this was directed by Joe Penna, otherwise known as Mystery Guitar Man on YouTube. Now, Joe has been directing various short films and other projects since 2010, but this is his first actual feature-length movie. And I gotta say, that's pretty impressive to have your first feature premiere at Cannes. Now, unfortunately, I was only at Cannes Film Festival for a few days and it wasn't playing while I was there, but Joe was nice enough to send me a screener copy. And no, he did not ask for positive coverage in any way, so these are my genuine thoughts on the film. What impresses me about this film the most is its presentation. There's never any point where the environments feel fake. They even used a real polar bear. The music was fitting and appropriate. It's very well shot. The way that much of the information is revealed in this film is very clever. There's one choice at the beginning of the film I really liked, where it shows the main character working on something and then it reveals what he's actually doing. There are several points in the film where information is intentionally withheld from the audience so you can discover it as the film goes on, and it really helps achieve much more of a dramatic effect than if it were just explained when you saw it. There are clever ways in which this film shows passage of time. At one point it was communicated by the amount of iodine remaining in a bottle. There is a healthy amount to appreciate in terms of how this film is presented, but I guess what prevented it from being an amazing film for me was the story itself. It functions incredibly well as a solo survivor story, but unfortunately there's another character that feels kind of unnecessary. She didn't really have a purpose other than to add conflict to the story, and it's not like the main character looking out for his own survival makes him unrelatable. The parts of this film where it's just himself are so much more unique and interesting. And on top of that, the details of her medical condition are a little difficult to understand. She's more or less just an extra person that he has to save, so he's not acting purely out of self-preservation. Many of the conflicts in the film feel genuine and exhilarating, but then there are others that had me going, Some felt like they belonged in the story, and some felt like they only existed for the sake of conflict itself. And those are my only real issues with the film, and like I said, there is a lot to appreciate about it as well. Mads Mikkelsen is fantastic in this movie, and his performance is entirely believable. Overall, this is a very impressive first feature, and Joe, you should be proud of what you've created. This is a film that in no way feels like a YouTuber made a movie. This is a real, legitimate film, and that is quite the accomplishment. I really want to give you some extra points for that alone, but the issues that I had in this film are issues that I would have in any other movie, and I gotta stay consistent. Overall, it was a very enjoyable film, and I was invested in the main character and his struggles. It's definitely worth checking out, so I would recommend you do just that. And I'm giving this one a 6 out of 10. It's probably closer to a 7 than a 5, but I'm keeping it at a 6 for now. Thank you.